Hello folks, this is Rabbit back at it again with another IFG Swordplay Challenge video. This week we're going to be taking another look at the Meyer Square and answering a question that popped up in the last video. Alright, so Meyer says in his section on the square that not only should you be able to cut with the long edge of the sword, but also with the short edge and with the flat. So in the last video, we had a question on exactly that, how I would transition during my short edge cuts, and also how would I cut with the flat. So I'm going to demonstrate both of these and kind of pause whenever I get to a point where I had to make a kind of tricky decision on how to transition. So let's take a look at that now. The first thing we're going to take a look at here is my transition from the last cut of the second set to the first cut of the third set. You'll notice I have to bring the sword back around my head in order to get from that ascending cut to the descending cut on the other side, which is a bit tricky to do and it took me a little while to get the hang of. Immediately after that transition comes another challenging one, transitioning from ending one ascending cut high to starting another one low. Again, patience was key here, and figuring out exactly how to make this cut work was just a matter of experimenting and taking it slow. To finish off here, you'll notice that I cut the same cut, meaning same angle and side, two separate ways. The first one is with the thumb on the inside of the crossguard, and the second way is with my hands crossed. I mainly did this for the purposes of experimentation. There is no reason that you couldn't cut both of these cuts the exact same way, or substitute one type for the other in every instance of the cut. Now let's take a look at that sequence in full. Alright, so there you have it, the short edge version of the Meyer Square. Now let's take a look at cutting this with the flat. Obviously we don't cut with the flat a whole lot, if any, in pretty much any application of HEMA that we do currently. That being said, Meyer says to do it, so I say let's give it a shot. This version was a lot easier to cut than the short edge version and had a lot of similarity to the long edge version. That being said, it felt a little different, mainly because I don't really ever cut with the flat of the blade. So it was definitely interesting to experiment with. That's going to be all I have for you with this week's video, folks. I hope you found it interesting. My challenge for you this week is to continue to experiment with the Meyer Square. Definitely get another rep or two of the long edge version in, and then try to do the short edge version as well as the flat version. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week for another IFG Swordplay Challenge.